We can feed your bellies and refuel you, and we'll go from there. But just a little bit of background information. My name's Brielle Buckley, as Judy said. I received my bachelor's from Florida State University. I'm from Florida in dietetics, and then I went on to receive my master's in PA studies from Stony Brook University in New York. I've been in Texas for exactly a year this month, and I have loved it. It's been awesome, 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 and I'm so thankful to be a part of executive medicine and to help nutrition in the family practice office that I work in as well. So anyway, we're going to start with nutrition. I know Larry North kind of talked about a little bit. I want to test it with the food and supplements that we need. And I always think of that commercial. There's like a lady walking down the street, and she's like eating a donut, and then like on her bum, there's like 2 donuts on her bum. And I always think about, oh my gosh, we are what we eat, right? We provide, or we put all these things into our body, and it really does affect what happens on the inside. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so poor nutrition. Obviously, some of these top key components, diabetes, heart disease, colon cancer, that all relates to the foods that we eat. These are preventable conditions, you guys. These things can be prevented. Diabetes, okay, so a lot of times we have increase in sugar and insulin. Obesity leads to diabetes, so again, watching the carbohydrates that we eat can help decrease the amount of diabetes. Heart disease, those fried fatty foods, you know, fried chicken that we love here in Texas, and all those saturated fats leads to heart disease, plaque buildup in our vessels, heart attacks, strokes come from that, and colon cancer. So lack of fiber in our diet. A lot of people are like, well, how do I even get fiber? What is fiber? How much do I need a day? A lack of fiber can actually lead to colon cancer. So these things are all preventable, okay, from the foods that we eat. And lack of good nutrition can lead to all these things. Okay, so you guys have this diagram too in your books. So let's look at the states here and see if we see any trends or anything like that. So we're talking about obesity and diabetes here. We'll focus on Texas and some of the southeastern states. So in 1994, let's see if I can see it, 14 to almost 18% of Texas, let's focus on that, was considered obese, okay? Obese is a BMI of 30 or above, okay? Body mass index. It's kind of antiquated, but we still use it in medicine to kind of classify your level of obesity. Okay, so 6 years later, it increased from 14 to 18% to 22 to 26%. So you can see that gradual trend going up in 6 years. And then in 2009, greater than 26%. Really? That's crazy, you guys. It's just slowly going up. In 10 years, imagine what that's going to be. If we're already higher than 26%, what are we going to be, 30, 40%? Almost half of our nation's going to be considered obese? We're in trouble. We really are. Diabetes, okay, same thing. Texas, okay, 4 to 6% in 1994, slowly rising to 6 to 8%, and then greater than 9% of diabetes. And being overweight can lead to that type 2 diabetes. Okay, so this gradual trend has to stop, because we are going to get ourselves into a big problem. We already are in trouble. It's interesting, related to obesity and BMI of 30. I was reading recently, there is a study that if you have a BMI of 30, you actually cannot adopt a child. You know, so they're actually, the government is putting these reins too. So if you're unhealthy and you're not teaching your children proper nutrition, they won't even let you adopt. So really, it's really important. Okay. In a 2012 study, again, this is kind of redundant, 26% of Americans were obese, greater than 30 BMI. So that is an increase from 2008 at 25.5%. So again, that 1%, but again, just that rise in the trend. Okay, how do you think we got here? Let's see. Every time we're driving down the street, we see fast food restaurants, right? Whataburger, Jack in the Box, McDonald's, whatever. And so we go there. It's convenient. It's cheap. It is. It's cheaper to eat unhealthy. On, you know, Wednesdays at McDonald's, 59-cent cheeseburgers. Well, absolutely, yeah, 59 cents. You're going to have 2 and have a, you know, large fry and a drink, $4 or $5. When you look at the salad, and the salad's $7.99, you know, and you have to sit and take the lid off and eat the salad. So a lot of people go for unhealthier choices because it's convenient and it's cheap. Okay, so let's look at this. One burger, this is just a guesstimate or an average on a burger, 564 calories in one burger, okay? A large fry, again, almost 500, and then the large soda, 396. A lot of times we don't even calculate drinks and the fluids that we take in our body. We just think of them almost as free. But actually, look at that. A drink has almost as much as edible food. So we're drinking empty calories. And just what Larry North was saying, you know, think about a 12-ounce can of Coke has so many tablespoons of sugar. I mean, all that sugar is turning into fat in our body. We really, really have to reevaluate the situation. What was I gonna say? How many of you guys go to fast food restaurants at least twice a week, once a week, if not more? Okay, yeah. And you guys have soda. Who gets water when they go? Like the Dasani bottled water? Oh, good for you, that's good. All right, anyone else? Probably not. You get the sweet tea. Hey, I admit, I get the sweet tea at McDonald's. It is good. It's that Southern sweet tea. But this is one meal, okay? And if we're supposed to eat every 2 to 3 hours, so 5 to 6 meals a day, this is one meal. We're at almost 1,500 calories. Really? The average American, you know, give or take, is 2,000 calories a day or less, you know? And if we're having almost 1,500 at one meal, you can see how we're going over, and that's leading to excess fat and so on. Okay, so then you say, all right, Brielle, I'm not gonna eat fast food. I will get that salad. I will spend $7.99 on that salad. Okay, so what do we have going on there? This is an example of TGI Fridays Santa Fe salad. Okay, here's the thing. There are empty hidden calories in everything. Please, in condiments, drinks, everything. This one's taking pictures over here. He's documenting. There you go. So we think, you know, okay, Brielle, I'm not going to have all this fried food. I'm not going to have fries. I'm going to get a salad. Okay, well, that's good. But all the extra stuff that we put on the salad, the cheese and the sour cream and the guacamole and the dressing, adds up to almost, well, in this case, worse than the burger, fries, and drink. 1,800 calories. The other one's about 1,400. So doesn't that seem backwards? It seems kind of crazy, right? Because the dressings that they smother the dressing on it. I mean, we're not even eating salad. We're just eating dressing. We're like spoonfuls of dressing, you know? So always ask for the dressing on the side. You want to get more of a light dressing if they have it, fat-free, vinaigrette, something less calorie dense. And then 29 grams of saturated fat. This isn't even beef, okay? This is not beef from a cow, all right? Saturated fat, that leads to the plaque that's in our vessels. That causes the heart disease, that causes a stroke. Saturated fat is no good. You should have 30 grams or less a day. That's one meal serving. And then sodium, high sodium. What does sodium do? Elevated sodium, elevated blood pressure, again, leads to all these different things. So better options, you know, if you are going to get a salad, get the grilled meats on top, okay? You're going to want to get the dressings on the side. You're going to want to have, you know, less of the croutons on top or the little tortilla chips that they have there. The beans on here are fine, and some of the other, the avocado, you know, that's one of the superfoods. That's good too. But you want to kind of keep some of that other stuff on the side. Questions about any of that? Salads, fast foods, anything? No? There's no tomatoes on there. Is that bad too? There's no tomatoes, or there is what? I haven't seen tomatoes, so. For whatever reason, this salad just didn't have tomatoes on it. Tomatoes are great, though. They're awesome for you. They're filled with micronutrients. Really good for your prostate, too. Men out there.
So the salad dressings that go on, is there a dressing that's better than others? Even though light or fat-free, like Italian or created, is there one that's better, if you will?
Yeah, great question. What's that? So if you go with more of a vinaigrette-based, you know, the olive oil, the extra virgin olive oil and vinegar, or you can just do a little bit of vinegar on there. Yeah, the fat-free, the Italian, the thinner dressings are going to be better than the thick, rich Thousand Island and the ranch and things like that. Those are going to be more high in calories and fat too per serving. And these things are tricky too, because a serving size of dressing is really interesting. It's like a serving size is 2 tablespoons. Okay, so 2 little tablespoons, a serving size. Who puts 2 tablespoons on a salad?
Right.
Not even me. We usually like squirt it and, you know, make a big thing around it. So yeah, so watch out. You're going to want to go with some of the lighter ones. Fat-free would be obviously better if you had the choice to do that. Okay. Okay, so Larry talked about this as well. How often do we eat out? What would you guys say? Do you guys eat out, you know, whether it's lunch, breakfast, dinner, how many times a week would you say? 4 times a week? About 4? Would this average seem pretty accurate? Okay, more than that, some people? A little bit? I see some yeses, some nos. Okay, yeah, so the average American, almost 5 days a week they eat out, okay? That's more expensive, and then you're getting food that, again, can be convenient. That's probably not the best choices for yourself. Our executives report eating out 8 to 12 meals a week. Okay, so you're at a business, you know, meeting with a pal. You're going to go out to the restaurant. Things. As Americans, we're very social, right? We want to meet people at a restaurant. Hey, buddy, I'll meet you out at this restaurant. We'll grab some stuff. You don't really want to say, hey, bring your snack lunch in a brown bag and we're going to go sit at the park. Not many people do that. That's great if you can. That's awesome. But it's not really how it really goes, okay? So the thing that I'm trying to kind of take home with this is that when we eat out, we tend to make poor decisions when it comes to eat, you know, the foods that we eat, because we say, well, why are we gonna have a salad? I might as well have that, you know, shrimp pasta or something like that, something that you don't normally eat at home. And then with that, they add the extra fat, the extra calories, salt, larger portions. Americans, on general, the patients I see don't really eat bad. They just eat too much. Okay, their portions are just so much larger than what we should be eating. You know, most serving sizes are, again, that half a cup. Okay, half a cup. 4 ounces of meat is like the size of a deck of cards, or the size of your palm. You know, you go to, I don't know, a steakhouse or whatever, and they give you, you know, a T-bone. I mean, that's huge. That's like 12 ounces, you know, of the meat and the fat and things like that. So we need to really kind of plan ahead. And, you know, over the weekend when you grocery shop, if you can have one like lunch or dinner that you can bring to work, or breakfast that you can have in a snack pack, that would be good. You know, plan ahead, think ahead, because then you're going to make better decisions. Get yourself little snack baggies, put some hummus and celery or some carrots and low-fat ranch and things like that. So when you are hungry and you're taking a break at work, you can grab one of those healthy options instead of racing to the vending machine and getting a soda and a Snickers bar. Okay, so thinking ahead, you're going to save money and you're going to cut extra unnecessary calories and fat. Okay, who's heard of the glycemic index? Okay, good. So it's, you know, kind of that buzzword that we hear sometimes, you know, with these diets and fad diets, and when we talk about, you know, diabetic diets and things. Glycemic index. Okay, so this is a scale, 0 to 100, and it's talking about the different types of food we have. If we think of the food guide pyramid, carbohydrates, fruits, meats, dairies, fats, things like that, how much a single individual food raises our blood sugar when we eat it. Okay, so you guys have a diagram in your book as you kind of flip through it, and it'll give you examples of foods. Can someone just raise their hand before they take a little sneak peek and say, what food would have a high glycemic index?
Mashed potatoes, it's like eating sugar.
Oh, I love you. Perfect. Yes, exactly. Perfect. We're going to touch on that too. Anyone else? Something else that would be high? What's that? Cookies, exactly. Yes, exactly. So cookies and mashed potatoes, what does that have in common? What food group is that a part of? Carbs, right? Carbs. Okay, carbs are good. We need carbs. They provide a short-term energy. They are part of one of the macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbs, so we need them. They are important. We don't ever want to cut anything out completely, but there are good carbs and then there are not so good carbs. We want to go for the better choices of carbs and kind of avoid some of the other ones because they lead to those high glycemic indexes. Okay, so This is something I always like to draw when I'm teaching nutrition for my patients. Okay, so when we eat mashed potato, so we eat this is a starchy, part of the starchy carbohydrate food groups. We eat mashed potato, it converts to sugar in our body, right? And it spikes up our blood sugar, okay? Spikes up that blood sugar, and it's used for that short-term, quick energy. It's a burst of energy, spikes it up, but guess what? What comes up must also come down. So it goes all the way down, and it goes to that trough too. And that's when you kind of get irritable, shaky, and you're like, well, I'm hungry again. I just ate 30 minutes ago. Why am I hungry again? Because that rise and that fall can cause you to be hungry, because it's just a simple food. It's a simple carbohydrate. There's no protein, there's no fat to kind of go along with that. Also, have you ever thought of the fact that why are carbs so good? Why do Americans love carbs so much? Well, carbs are addicting. When you eat these cookies, mashed potatoes, and things like that, what does it do? It goes to the pleasure centers in your brain. It says, hey, that makes me feel good. I like how that makes me feel. And that's why they are often addicting. You know, you'll sit down and people will eat the whole bag of potato chips or the whole little package of cookies. They're addicting. They make you feel good. Okay, so we have to perform, you know, some self-control in that arena. So this rise and this fall, why is that bad metabolically in our body? Okay, so when we eat something that's high in sugar, our blood sugar spikes all the way up, and our pancreas secretes insulin. Insulin is like Pac-Man, okay? So insulin comes in and it wants to eat the glucose or sugar and use it and metabolize it in our body, okay? So if we have this continuous rise and fall, it's making our pancreas squirt out so much insulin, and it's overworking it. It's unnecessarily overworking it, okay? And years and years and years of that, what does that lead to? Type 2 diabetes, okay? So we really want to stay away from those short-term little carbs that are spiking us up, and if we do have a carb, we want to complement it with some protein and some fat to provide satiety, so to eliminate that rise and fall. Okay, so for instance, if you had a cracker and you put some peanut butter on it. Okay, so peanut butter has good fats in it and has protein. So peanut butter and a cracker, so you're getting your fat and your protein and your carb with a cracker, that's good. That's gonna provide you a little bit more of that satiety, that even line. It's not gonna bring you up and down versus if you just had the cracker, okay? Also, let's see. Pineapple and cottage cheese. Pineapple's a fruit, it's good, there's so many nutrients in it, but pineapple can sometimes, you know, bring you up a little bit. You wanna have a little bit of cottage cheese to kind of go with it and make that complimentary snack. So all the snacks that you eat, and when we say eat 5 to 6 times a day, I want you to think about a little bit of carbs, a little bit of fat, a little bit of protein with each of your little meals throughout the day. Okay, so when we say green light, yellow light, and red light, green light, that's good, go for that one. Those are gonna be the better choices. That's a glycemic index less than 55, okay? So we're gonna wanna go with more fruits and vegetables. Those have those lower glycemic index. Yellow light, those are the borderline, they're kind of in between, not the worst, not the best. And then red light, those are the ones that we're gonna try to steer clear of, okay? Because greater than 70 or more is gonna cause that spike that we're trying to avoid. Okay, baked potato, 111 glycemic index. Rice cakes, this is interesting because you think, hey, rice cakes are good. They're low in calories, maybe 50, 60 calories, no fat. Women, you know, all around the office like to have them. I'm eating rice cakes, I'm good, I'm doing good on my little diet. Okay, well yeah, it's 80 though. So it's, again, causing that spike. Now if you put some peanut butter on that, that would be better. Okay, and fruit roll-ups, you know. I know some of your kids like those, and kiddos, you know, can enjoy snacks like that once in a while for sure, but again, it's one of those, not a whole lot of nutrients that you're getting, if any at all, in some of these. Okay, so better choices. Almonds, Brazil nuts, mixed nuts, any of those nuts, those are all part of those superfoods. Okay, nuts have that good fat that's healthy for our cholesterol. Low in calories, has a little bit of protein, okay? Yogurt, again, the Greek yogurt, you hear all about the Greek yogurt on commercials and everything now. Greek yogurt's awesome. It's so filled with good protein, it's low in fat, calcium, vitamin D, it doesn't raise your sugar up too high. Hummus, okay, that's ground up chickpeas. Hummus is really great with some maybe whole wheat pita bread, something like that would be complimentary. Questions about any of those? Okay. Okay, superfoods. Okay, how many of you guys know anything about superfoods? That buzzword that we talk about. Why are they super? Why do you think? Anyone? No? Okay. Okay, because they're filled with a lot of antioxidants, right? They help prevent cancer, fight against these conditions that we're talking about, heart disease, coronary artery disease, diabetes, okay? These are foods that we eat that are so dense with these fabulous micronutrients and these things that help fight free radicals. Too many free radicals in the body can lead to cancer and some of these other comorbidities. Some just to make note of, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, okay? Those are great. They have the polyphenols, the flavonoids in them. Those things are good internally for our body. Kale is awesome. Kale is one of my favorites. You can make a kale salad. A lot of people are into the juicing now. Does anybody juice here? Okay, great. Good, good, good. You can get a juicer for $100 at Walmart. Okay, it's fabulous, or they even have some cheaper ones at like Big Lots and some of the other stores too. You know, here's the thing with fruits and vegetables. Sometimes we buy them and we don't utilize them. They sit in our refrigerator for a little bit, then they kind of get moldy, soggy, and we're like, oh gosh, what do we do with them now? You know, that's awesome for juicing. You can put a lot of these and make this nutrient-dense smoothie or one of your meals or snacks with these superfoods, and you're, you know, consuming, you know, orally all of these great things that you may not get from some of your other, you know, food groups. Let's see. You know, cherries, mushrooms are great. Again, the nuts, avocados are awesome. Has anyone seen the YouTube video? I don't know. It's all about nutrition, and it's all about juicing. Anyone saw it? No. Okay, I can't remember what it's called. But it's really great. It shows us this Australian guy who came to America, and it was kind of like a spin-off from the movie Super Size Me, when the guy ate a lot of those Big Macs and did that study with McDonald's and things like that. So it's kind of like a spin-off of that. But he talked about how when he came to America, how he gained so much more weight, his cholesterol tripled, and how he was more sedentary because of our lifestyle and so forth. And he started juicing and incorporating more of these superfoods in his diet. And it was amazing what it did internally to his body and then externally too, as far as weight loss and cholesterol management and things like that. It was really good. Question? What's that?
What's that next to last?
This one's cinnamon. Yeah. That's a clove, actually, and then that's cinnamon. Oh, licorice, I think. Or is that dark chocolate? I don't know. Both are good. Yeah.
So I thought I heard you say before that guacamole was bad, but avocados are good?
Okay. Yeah. So sometimes when you get the dips at some of the Tex-Mex restaurants and stuff, they kind of can add some extra stuff in it to make it even better. No, guacamole is not bad. So I don't like to say any food is really bad. Too much of anything is not good. Avocados are good, but they are high in fat. They are good fats that we have. But even if you have too much good fat, you don't want too much fat, period. You know, so it does have good fats in it, and it is filled with great nutrients, but you don't want to have 7 avocados a day, you know, because that would be too much fat. And we want to kind of keep a low-fat diet. What's that?
I looked up the recipe, and there didn't seem to be anything bad in there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, no, it's not. It's definitely not bad. I mean, it's good for you, but you don't want to have too much of it. And the thing is what do we eat with guacamole? Chips. And what do the chips do? The chips are not good. So, I mean, how many people really sit with a bowl of guacamole and just eat it as a, you know, so something to think about. Okay, so really simple, you guys. You eat better. You eat more fruits and vegetables, more fiber, more whole grains. You have better health. Okay, we prevent these disease states. Poor nutrition, poor health. Okay, it says that we're supposed to have 5 to 9 fruits and vegetables a day. Who gets 5 to 9 fruits and vegetables a day in their diet? I don't even. I'm a nutritionist. I know better. I don't even get that in. But we can get these things in because, again, those serving size that we were kind of bummed out before, oh wow, that rice is only half a cup. This is where the serving size is going to help us, okay? Because if we think about, you know, a small apple or an orange, well, that's one serving. Okay, so great, you can have an apple with some peanut butter on it. That's great. I'm on this peanut butter kick, apparently. Some, you know, 15 grapes is a serving size of a fruit. A large banana is actually 2 servings of a fruit. So see how easily we can get at least 5 servings of fruits or vegetables in a day. You know, a half a cup of green beans or, you know, collard greens or kale or something like that. It's really easy to kind of incorporate that in. Even if you have a big salad at least once a day, you can get some more of the greens and the vegetables. Okay, so the next couple slides are on diabetes, anxiety, depression, have diabetes, and I'm kind of feeling a little bit depressed and things like that. And you're thinking, okay, well, how does that have anything to do with nutrition? So nutrition really is everything, and we'll kind of hit home with it. So diabetes, this for example, and we'll kind of go through these. These are a little bit dense with a lot of information, so we can highlight a couple of them. But let's see. Okay, so vitamin C, right? What's in vitamin C? Can anyone name something that's filled with vitamin C? Very easy. Orange, perfect, right? So orange, can an orange help a diabetic? Well, yeah, it can, because vitamin C lowers hemoglobin A1C, which is something that we check in diabetics every 3 months to monitor their blood sugar, okay? Helps with post-meal glucose levels. So again, after we eat, to get from having those spikes again, it helps to lower them. Vitamin C. So having vitamin C supplements, taking them orally or eating, you know, vitamin C, you know, whether it's orange juice or having an orange can help with that. Chromium. Chromium's in a lot of our meats that we eat and legumes and so forth. That helps insulin, which is secreted through the pancreas, attach to the cells and help to get that uptake of glucose into the cells so it's utilized, so it's not hanging out in the bloodstream. So if anyone is not taking any type of multivitamin or is confused about which one to take, you know, this is all these micronutrients that we're talking about can be tested. You can actually individually test. Executive Medicine of Texas can actually draw your blood, okay, for a small fee. Unfortunately, the insurance companies don't pay for it, but they can actually see what's exactly specific to your body, how much chromium you may need or that you're missing, magnesium, these trace minerals, okay? Because most of us take a women's one a day or a men's one a day. Well, that's great, but that's just baseline, generic, something we get for $7.99 at CVS. How do we know that that's really gonna help us, or what are we lacking in? Okay, you could be lacking in some of these things. Okay, anxiety. Okay, folate. Kale, green leafy vegetables, spinach, things like that, high, rich in folate. That can help the production of the neurotransmitters in our brain, serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine. Those things help us feel relaxed, balanced, less depressed, okay? So, you know, getting your folate levels checked at the doctor. B6, the B vitamins are a real big buzzword. Zinc, again, in legumes and meats. Some of these trace minerals, too. You may be lacking in this stuff. Your diet may not be providing you any of these minerals, and that's maybe why you're having anxiety, okay? A lot of times we are a push-happy society. I work in medicine. Yes, I do prescribe medicine every day to patients. Some patients need, you know, certain antidepressants or different drugs like that. But sometimes it's a quick, simple fix, as in they just need to eat more of one fruit or vegetable or meat or something like that. Okay, same thing with depression. Okay, vitamin D, that's a big one. Everyone comes in and says, I'm feeling fatigued, I'm feeling kind of just, can we check our vitamin D levels? Well, vitamin D can be linked to depression, can be linked to one of the top 3 causes of fatigue that we may have, can, you know, can be linked to cardiovascular health, lack of vitamin D. Okay, so this can help improve the symptoms of depression by having extra vitamin D. And if you are low in it, eating cheeses and milk and things like that are not going to bring you higher. Okay, that can help. But if you are deficient in vitamin D, you need a prescription vitamin D. Okay, you can't get it over the counter. You need prescription vitamin D if you're truly low in it. Then once we get you up high, you maintain with over-the-counter supplements or nutrition. Questions on any of this? Okay, headaches too. Again, we're seeing vitamin C, CoQ, enzyme 10 may help prevent migraines. These are supplements that you can buy at CVS for $5.99 on the shelf. Because a lot of times we walk to the shelves and we say, gosh, I don't even know where to start. There's so many of these nutrients, these minerals, what is what? You know, you can research this. Use your booklets. If you're having some of these symptoms, highlight some of these and try to see if you can get some supplements over the counter for it. Insomnia, this is a big one. A lot of times people say, I have trouble sleeping, and we throw out Ambien and Lunesta and things like that, and they say, it's still not working, Brielle. I'm taking this medicine, and it's supposed to make me sleep for 6 to 8 hours, and it's still not working. So we gotta, again, think outside of the box. What might they be deficient in that can help? Okay. Yeah.
Is it better to take those with meals, or is there a better time, you know, of the day if you're taking one of these over-the-counter pills or whatever?
Whatever fits your schedule, morning, noon, night, whatever you can remember to get it in once a day.
I got a question.
Yeah.
You talk about 4 key areas there: diabetes, insomnia, whatever.
Yeah.
And there were a multiplicity of different supplements. Certainly, we're in most cases taking that one-a-day vitamin, what have you. And a lot of the one-a-day vitamins have a lot of mixtures here and there. But you can find yourself taking that one-a-day plus a little more of this, a little more of that. You're taking 10 pills a day. And early on today, they talked about too many vitamins can poison your system. So establishing that balance is probably something that's a little bit challenging, I would think. And is that something that you recommend visiting a nutritionist like yourself and something specifically being made up for you?
Yes. I mean, I think, you know, sometimes we play our own doctor and we go to the store and we just start picking and choosing, and this one's on clearance and we're going to take this supplement, and we may not know. So, you know, knowledge is power. So understanding and probably talking to your physician, or if you see a nutritionist or a dietitian, and talking to them about some of those supplements before purchasing and taking them would probably be the best bet. You know, a one-a-day is probably going to be fine. Most things that your body doesn't use, you know, you kind of filter and urinate out. But when you start kind of taking extra things that are, you know, in addition to the one-a-day, I would seek, you know, a physician or
So typically you hear that GNC is the better, or whichever. You got so many different companies. As a nutritionist,
Okay.
I understand executive medical.
yeah.
What would you recommend?
Ooh, boy, that's a tough one. Yeah, I would really honestly recommend what is individual for you. You know, getting this micronutrient testing, I believe it's around $395. $395 is nothing when it's your health and you know exactly what you need in your body. Okay, so finding out what you're deficient in and knowing that, we have supplements obviously through us that are specific. If you need 200 micrograms of chromium, we can get that for you and make it specific and individualized. As far as what I think is the best, I don't want to really kind of.
And I'll shut up with my questions after this one.
And it's so individualized that it's really hard to kind of give a blanket statement and say everyone should go out to this place, or this place, and buy this one or that one. It's kind of touchy. So the key is, you know, if we have a full, well-balanced diet, just to kind of take this home, we hopefully won't need supplements. But if we do blood work and we find that we are deficient in some of them, that's when we can kind of, you know, take the oral supplements and help from that. And I always like to say, when you're thinking of your plates, when you're having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, think of an artist palette, okay? You know how there's different colors of paint, either reds and greens and yellows and things like that. Make your plates colorful, okay? Get excited about eating healthy. It can be fun. It really can. Yes, it takes a little bit more prep time and thought process, but it can be fun, and you really want to give your body the best chance it can to live the longest life. So, any other questions to wrap it up? I know we kind of got on a little tangent. Anything else?
Is there any foods that are more important on organic food? You heard a lot about this stuff. Is there any that are better if they're organic than others? I don't know if I'm asking.
Maybe I can talk to you on the side about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's kind of a broad thing, but we can maybe chat about it later because I'll be here for a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think that's it, you guys.